Howdy folks, we're going to have some fun today.
A little bit of history. In 1948, Czechoslovakia was one of the first countries to recognize the State of Israel. The Czechs were one of the first countries to ship arms to Israel, and that's where this Mauser came from. This rifle bears the German Waffennamt DOU, which means the rifle was made by Waffenwerk Brunn. Brunn is the German word for BRNO, and as everyone knows, BRNO is the major gun-making center in Czechoslovakia for today's Czech Republic. The Israeli version of the Mauser 98 rifles differ from the original German version in that they have had all of the Nazi markings and emblems removed and replaced with the Israeli Defense Force and Hebrew markings as part of an effort to ideologically purify the rifles from their former use as infantry weapons of the armed forces of Nazi Germany. During the late 1950s, the Israeli Defense Force converted the caliber of their K98 rifles from the original 7.92mm bullet to 7.62 NATO after the IDF adopted the FN FAL rifle in 1958. The Israeli Mauser K98 rifles that were converted have 7.62 engraved on the rifle receiver and burned into the heel of the rifle stock for identification and to separate the rechambered K98s from the original 7.92 K98s that were still in service. You don't want to mix the ammunition up in the wrong rifle, so the markings are very large. The K98 rifle was used by the reserve branches of the IDF well into the 1960s and 1970s and saw action in the hands of Israeli Army reservists during the 1967 Six-Day War and the 1973 war. Look at that thing swing. I love it. You guys got to get yourself some steel. You just do. Four to 5 hits at 100 after a 100-meter dash. You know, if I was shooting a Lee Enfield, I bet you it would have been 5 hits. 5 out of 5. But this Mauser is trickier to run than a Lee Enfield, that's for sure. And we've certainly had that debate, haven't we? Over and over again on YouTube. If you could only pick one bolt-action rifle to go into battle with, which one would it be? Lots of you have said Model 98 Mauser. And you know what? It's a great choice. However, as you just saw, you know, it's once I had to lower the rifle from my face in order to run the bolt. Whereas with the Lee Enfield, I'm up here, right? I'm just whizzing through the ammunition. The sights on the Lee Enfield are far better. There is no comparison whatsoever when it comes to, and I'm referring to the number 4 Lee Enfield. That's going to be my benchmark for bolt-action rifles, because that's what I'd bring. This is a good enough sight, the inverted V-notch and the triangle front sight, really fat. However, it doesn't really help you a lot in low light conditions. Even today with this low overcast and essentially shooting in a cloud here, Even with these sights at only 100 meters, it's not really clear. It's not. Nowhere near as nice as a number 4 tangent sight. Can't run through the ammunition as effectively as a number 4 either. A properly tuned number 4 rifle. And it's such a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong, I really like this Mauser. I mean, I like Model 98 Mausers, period. Doesn't matter who made it. Although I'm more prone to purchase and acquire rifles that have seen some form of combat that I know are field tested and field ready, and the German Mausers are obviously have done that. South American Mausers, I know there's some beautiful South American Mausers out there. Persians or Iranian Mausers, oh, they're so beautiful. Argentinian Mausers, Venezuelan Mausers, they're works of art, they really are. Swedish Mausers, small rings, Chilean 1895s, I love them all. But really, when it comes to the ones that have been field tested, it's the European Mausers. And I really do enjoy shooting them. However, I'll take a Lee Enfield any day. This BRNO here, Israeli Mauser, it's working pretty good. It's shooting pretty good. I'm getting about a 3-inch group off bags. I should say in the prone supported, which means that my forearm is resting against the support, but the rifle is not. So I'm not shooting off bags. I'm shooting prone supported. I'm getting about a 3-inch group, and that's about the same as what I'd get with a Lee Enfield. I'm not saying these are any less accurate. I would say out of the 3, if I was to choose Mauser Nagant for accuracy, that's what I'd be choosing. If I wanted to do precision work, hands down, my choice would be the Mauser Nagant, even over the Lee Enfield. But for a battle rifle, give me a Lee Enfield. The Israeli Mauser, K98. This one is Czechoslovakian manufactured during the German occupation, made in 1945. Czechoslovenska.
Can't really hear it very well though. So far so good, guys. I love Bulb 98 Mausers. Okay. Might have an extractor problem with this. Yeah, good hit. Gotta get these rifles wet, guys. Get them out in the rain, get them out in the snow. That's what they were made for.
The Israeli 7.62 K98 holds a special historical interest. The juxtaposition of rifles designed for an evil power, whose avowed goal was the destruction of every Jew in the world, later served to help create and defend a Jewish state, is fascinating in and of itself.
And it can never get used to that. I'm empty. This is the Rifle Cherry signing off. And as always, you say it, Maple Leaf up.
Israeli Mausers have a fascinating and compelling history in a way that few other firearms do. All at once they represent the despair, destruction, hope, and rebirth of a people. And if this wasn't enough, they are excellent shooters chambered for a popular, readily available, and fairly inexpensive cartridge. All of this adds up to only one possible recommendation. Don't pass these rifles up if they become available to you. Highly recommended for purchase, and for fun shooting, and practical applications in the field.